Follow the journey of Lineti Latu, Te Vitavahai, Sia Uhila, and Kalfanongapulu on their journey of Tongan youth against corruption.
4 of us were selected, 4 different youth reps from 4 different organisations here in Tonga were selected to go represent the youth over in the Pacific Youth Conference Against Corruption early this year. And so before we left, we were given a task from the conference from Fiji.
We call it the Cause Don't Cry campaign, which is directly for young people, and we use a method or tool, we call it the 1,000 stories.
In terms of the stories and surveys, we split the category into 5 different categories. We have the unemployment, we have the high school, tertiary working, and the disability.
We are working overnight and also again tomorrow to finish up our work and to be able to come up with a complete presentation to be presented.
If anything, being nervous for the presentation tomorrow is that they won't, I guess, be on the same page as we are, or questions that they could fire at us and we're not ready to answer.
I'm quite nervous, but at the same time I feel very privileged that I get this chance to be able to share the stories and also ideas from youth, from their perspective on how they see corruptions here in Tonga.
Yeah, so we're excited to present it to the MPs, and we're looking forward to this opportunity, and hopefully it can open more doors, not just for us as individuals, but I guess for the youth.
I'm feeling confident now to talk on behalf of all the young people of Tonga, to whoever that is still doing that kind of act, those kind of corruption act. Please stop it, or I'll come stop you. Nah, checks. Really not gonna do that, but
I think we're ready to do it when it gets to Wednesday. Yeah.
The first leap as a team was to present their findings to the members of Parliament at a GoPack launch and parliamentary oversight workshop, which saw several members of Parliament attend. This allowed the Speaker of the House to conclude that if there are youth like this here in Tonga, then the future is in safe hands. This presentation allowed the team to start a new relationship with the Standing Committee for Anti-Corruption, in particular Lord Fusitua, who is currently the chairman for the Anti-Corruption Committee. Over the next 2 months, the team ran a series of presentations and workshops throughout Nuku'alofa to engage with the communities about ending corruption within oneself.
We've had the chance to present to the media, we've had the chance to present to CSOs, the parliamentarians, anti-corruption standing committee in parliament and government, and so many different things. And so I think at this point that is good in terms of showcasing that what our youth are doing and can continue to do. I think right now the focus should be more on the grassroots level, taking it out to the communities. So now we have been invited to attend the International Anti-Corruption Conference in Putrajaya in Malaysia. We also hope that with going to Malaysia we'll be equipped, because we're not experts in terms of fighting corruption or to know all these many details, and also we hope to establish networks there where we are lacking here in Tonga, and as youth we can turn to them, to these experts and the network that we will hopefully establish in Malaysia.
As Sia and Nonga make their way to the International Anti-Corruption Conference, Lineti and Devito will continue to drive the work on the ground until the team returns. Continue to follow their journey on behalf of youth against corruption.
I he hiri ai ako ne whahoko I whisi Februari o tauni. Ne whoki mai lewa a ki nau tone nau lava ato whawhawhangai a tau tupu o Tongani, ki whatahaanga koe ni a tau tupu. Ki ono tau I o whaihala, o whotutu hangahi ngā aue, ke lava o ausia, ai ngahi tau mua, ne whai a hono whotutu lorotonga I whatahaanga. O kauheni, ai toi whalolotoangi, ai ilo ai tau tupu, Pea pehe foki ki whanua whalukufua ki he whaihala. Pea mangahi whaunga ki tau ia ki he whaihala. Ne lava foki e kurupu whahoko ha whingawe aki wāofi mo ngahi ako. Pea pehe ki ngai kurupu tau tupu ki he kehe. O kawe a hana whakalere ha ngahi ako. Pea pehe foki ki he ngahi workshop ki lava. O toi mahino angi ki he tau tupu e whanua. Ai ngahi kupu whekau aki. O tatau I he puleanga pia moe level ke he peo society o nau ngā aue ki tau mua ko hono tau I o whaihala. E kau foki a hono whamanatua o e aho whamaman lahi o no tau I o whaihala aia ne hoko I he aho hiva o Disema o tau uaftahanima. Ko tahaya ngahi ngā aue ai kurupu ne whakahoko ke mausia ai fotutu ne whakahoko I whakatahaanga I fisi I whepueli. Kono whamanatua koe ni o a whamaman lahi o tau I o whaihala. Ne whawhi mai ki ai sea o komiti. Ne whawhi mai ki ai sea o komiti ai whalea lea ki hono tau I o whaihala. Ai ako eiki no pere fustua. Pia ne whakahoko ai lea ke whamanatu ai aho maho ingani. Ne kau foki I he mea ai eki no pele, I hono whamanatua ai aho whamaman lahi ki hono tau I o whaihala. Ai ngahi nunua o whaihala I he Pasifiki o kawai a tongani. Pea pehe foki ki he mahu inga o whingawe aki whakataha. Ai ngahi kupu whikau aki o tatau I he puleanga. Pea pehe foki ki he toenga o e society. Ke tu whakataha ai ngahi kupu ko e ni o whingawe aki whakataha ki hono tau I o whaihala.
Whilst attending the International Anti-Corruption Conference in Putrajaya in September of this year, amongst the plethora of expert and considered papers presented, all of which were profoundly informative, I was taken aback by an astounding statistic presented by the Global Organisation of Parliamentarians Against Corruption, or GOPAC, Chief Executive Officer, in his presentation at a grand corruption meeting. He intimated that of the approximately USD $4 trillion plus that is siphoned off in various forms of criminality facilitated by the acquiescence, assistance or outright participation of public officials, and I quote, in order to meet the much vaunted Millennium Development Goals, now the Sustainable Development Goals, eradicating extreme hunger and poverty, establishing universal primary education, reducing child mortality, reducing maternal mortality, halting the spread of HIV and malaria, halving the proportion of people without access to clean water and sanitation, and promoting gender equalities in schools and the workforce would cost no more than $481 billion in development. That means that what the world loses to corruption in a single year would be enough to end the worst forms of human misery and transform human civilization at least a dozen times over. It is imperative every citizen in this country realises that, in the spirit of the Gosh Don't Cry campaign, it is incumbent on each and every one of us to participate actively in holding our arms of government, be it the executive, the legislature or the judiciary, accountable for their actions at all levels. We must realise that anti-corruption is a cause for all of us to take on and to combat as a nation and as a people. And only when we commit to fighting it in unison will we make the progress that we need to make. I thank you all for your attention.
Ka mai foki mo tule lahi o ofisi o komisiona ki he wā me kakai, ninta whalau mo tui. Ki hono whamanatua o e aho whamaman lahi ki hono tau I o whaihala. Ne lave a linta o whikau aki pia me ngā ue ai ofisi o komisiona ki he wā me kakai. Ki hono whaka ai taki lelei. Pia pehe foki ki whalelei e ngahi wā o whikau aki pia me ngahi ngā ue ngahi pot ngā ue ki he kehe ai puleanga.
Ofisi o pu mau whakakaunga tā maki ai, o ofisi ai whenga ki whakalere aki. Ke wālere, ai ni lao ngā mo nau tōru lau mai. Ai e taita tau, ke o ngō I he tō tahu lau ngai o koe ko hana tuku ki lalo, e ko hano whenga ke lau I kovi, whenga ke inisi kovi, a ngā au e pot ngau I ko ia ika. Ko whia mau, ke hoko, ke nau mau e lau ngā, ke hoko ia ko mea, ke nau tari, ke nau siofia, ke nau tahapea ngahi kupu tutuni he lau, ko ngahi whatotolo, ngahi ngau e ko toa peo, whakahoko I ofisini, oku whapitania private, ange piko e nau lawe ati ai tai totongi, ai ngau e ko ina mau whakahoko. Ni ko toa peo, nau mea ko mau ofisi, mau whakahoko ki ati lau tō, ko ngahi service ko toa mau whakahoko ia, I tai totongi, pea oku mau ripoti, mau peke ati nā tōru ai tūnga upi ai ai ngā hoi. Ai ka taha pēni o e ngahi whaunga o whau pe ko whotu he whanuanu kene tokoni ki hono ta ofi, pe hono teke I ate whai hala me ho tau whanuanu. O mālo atu ke whainga maaria, o whalahi atu e tala monu lahi atu ke tau tupo e whanuanu. Ngā o lerei au pito ina ko whakahoko. Kau mo tolo he kau stakeholders mahu inga au pito o whia mau ki tau whengau e aki lerei, ki tau whemahina aki ko hia I pe o e teke pule lerei I he whanuanu. Mālo mo hawha.
Ko lea whakamālo o e aho, ne whakahoko ia e kiko penitani, a ia koe Palestini, o kulupu Kosh, Kwai, Tonga, ne nā whotūtu mo whakalere e pōkalama ki ono whakamanatua, o e aha whamamanlahi, ono taui o e whaihala.
Kore peke hufanga ngai whatapu tau peko osu mo whaipi muani, ai a tā mua mo oku ke whaihaki rea whakamālo ngā koe tau pōkalama o e pumponginu. Oku atu hene ai whakamālo ki he whaafi whalungangi o e pumpongo ni, lot fustua, pehe whoki ki he toenga kautaki lotu, pehe kautaki whonua o tau whatatama I pumpongo ni, o e tau mai ke tau whakamanatua, ai whakamamani lahi, ko ia ai tau I o e whaihala, pehe ko International Anti-Corruption Day. Wahamo mea I pehe I ngahi presentation nai whakahoko I he pumpongi ni, tokolahi tau tautupu o kaike nau mahinoi, pe ku loloto whewhe e nau mahinoi whekau aki koe ni, pe mo corruption pe koe whaihala. Ka pau e te ui lelei ai tautupu o tau tupu pe koe this generation o mautui e toe lelei ane ai whanua koe ni I e kahau. Pea o tui whakapapau, I mea koto pe o tau whai, ka pake ke kau a eiki he tau ngā o whai, koe koto kula noa pe ai whenga wea. Ate ai whakamālo, e tiki motolu, I mō lawa mai I pompon koe ni, pea ate ai whalahi ke tiki motolu, mi he koskrai, pea kong tui koe kamatai e tau whenga we aki ke kahau e whonua, mālo apito.
Koe aho whamamanlahi ki hono tau I e whaihala, o hoko ia I he aho hiwa o Disema I he tau kotoa. Pea koe tau ni, o whakakaweinga whamamanlahi ia, ke motuki a seini o e whaihala. Pea koe kaweinga ni whakatu he kulupu, Kosh Kwai, ke tataki aki ai pōkalama, whamanatua a whamamanlahi o tau I e whaihala I Tonga ni, koe ke tau laka atu ki mua, pea ke toi whakalakalaka anga. I he hoa e whiawhi, ne whakahoko ai ha pōkalama o whate whito pe ia ki he tautupu, I he Digital Square. Ko hono whamanatua pēni, koe konga pēni o ngahi pōkalama ki hono whamanatua e aho, whamamanlahi ki hono tau I o e whaihala. Ne whakahoko I he pōkalamani ha ngahi whaiva, me he ngahi kulupu, tautupu ke he kehe pē me I tongani.
Tears of sadness came to my eyes, seeing everyone surrounding me being unwise. Surviving daily from all sorts of violence, I can't help but wonder when are we going to break the silence. Educationally, we are taught at home, but unfortunately, culture discipline is mainly shown.
Hiding under the covers Turn the corner, confide in your father. Let it out aside. Let it pass away.
Sadly, I know you're too shy to speak, but do not be afraid to stand up and speak. If there's ever a time that you cannot stand, these organizations will always be there to lend a helping hand. Thank you very much.
Somebody call out to your brother. He's calling out your name.
E kau foki I he konga o e pokalama koe ni. A hono hulu atu hangahi fitio, ne whakatata iai, ai ngahi, whahinga ke kehe o e whaihala, o hoko I tongani, pe malawa ke hoko I tongani. Pea I he hiri a ngahi fitio, ne eke ai a ngahi whehui, ki he kautaki tau tupu, pe pehe foki e ka ki nau tolu ne nau lava mai ki he pokalama koe ni. O whikau aki mo e nau o ngoi, ki he ngahi, ki he whahinga ke kehe o whaihala, ne whakaha I he ngahi vitioni. Pea pehe foki, ki he anau ngahi whakakaukau, o whikau aki moha whaunga, ke lava o tau I aki ai ngahi whaihala koe ni.
Iyo, malo vito, iyo, fie be. Ko unga ko tunga ko gai ko CV. Oku sai be he, fa be. Ka ku te yai pe ngai mea fe mau ki te o ke fie mau. Pe iyo tau ke. Iyo, ko hano ki to kange. Ke ke ki me ki tala. Me Kai. Ai anh be hao. Kai ho ata. Cái gì mẹ ấy à? Iya, lại bộ bang à? Ok, kapag niya pag kamatangaway piguan nay. Malo agi kayo ata. Kamatangaway piguan nay. Okay, iyo, kasya iya. Iya. Okay.
We caught against the tide. Those distant days are flashing by.
Sound the Alarm is a competition geared towards raising awareness against corruption and promoting honesty and integrity through music. This would be an ideal opportunity to be a part of the Youth Against Corruption Forum in Fiji in 2016. The first 3 winners of Sound the Alarm automatically get an all-expenses-paid trip to participate and interact with other youth at the workshop.
It was reported by UNICEF and SPC that the youth between 15 to 24 years of age accounts for 2 million people in the Pacific, which is almost a fifth of the total population in the region.
With the power of technology and creativity of music, Pacific youth will have a chance to create a song and share their amazing musical talent with the rest of the world.
Through Sound the Alarm, we invite and encourage all Pacific youth to stand up and be counted, to voice your concerns against corruption, relate the negative impacts corruption has on you as individuals, families, villages, and countries, to relate your experiences with corruption and suggest innovative solutions.
If you want to take part in it and become a young advocate against corruption, you have to be
between the ages of 18 and 35 and an island national within these countries. You must also have a valid passport to travel by May 2016. Once your video is ready, please upload to YouTube and share the link to uhila@gmail.com.
All videos must be received by January 15, 2016 with your name, country of origin, age and contact details.
Have your chance to share your voice and sound the alarm that will rally the Pacific youth against corruption.
Corruption free, yeah. Corruption free, yeah.